against Northwestern. And then on Sunday, the 4-2 Green Bay Packers are at home against the 5-1 Houston Texans. Jim, Matt, and Molly starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
I don't know, but basically we rode up to the Viking game last year, got sick.
Murr.
It's Murr.
I'm the barometer.
Mister.
He's not just a basic Bears fan.
It's just not the time or place.
He's finally kind of tapping into all the high draft pick and the money that was spent on the defense over the years. Is that the biggest difference? And what are the big strengths of this defense right now?
So it's funny. Statistically, I don't think that they are
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. I'm the only one in the Everlight Solar Studio alongside Primetime Wildersheim. Matt Hamilton is curling. I don't think they're doing well. I saw one tweet that said they were in like the, for lack of a better term, the losers bracket.
The B bracket. I don't think that's the losers bracket per se.
I think you'd rather be in the A bracket.
They won today, so
okay, that's good.
Good for Team Schuster. We're thinking about it still.
Yes, I want them to do well, but I also want Matt back here, so I'm not. It's a win-win for us. And then Molly Brown, whereabouts unknown. Are you in Beaver Dam or are you at the Casa?
I'm at Mikasa. I made my way to Green Bay this morning, and
what in the hell were you doing in Green Bay?
I was up at the Wilde and Tausch remote at the Associated Bank branch at the Titletown district, which was cool. I don't really know if it was actually a bank, if I'm being honest. I was expecting it to be a bank, but I don't know if like people go there to deposit money. I have no idea. Andrew Corliss was there. I am the newest, biggest Andrew Corliss fan. I don't know if that makes me a fake fan, like KBN would probably call me, but
well, they don't get it. They don't get a say in fake fandom.
But I was gonna say I was wearing that exact same shirt today, except it was ESPN Wisconsin. So I am glad that I changed into a Central Standard shirt.
Yeah, what are you doing here? Just we've been twinsies otherwise, but I like the Central Standard shirt. You're looking good. You can get into the show 844-770-3776. What happened on KBN? I see Jeremiah Madison saying Michelle Smallman is more of a fan than Ben, and at least she's honest about her recent fandom. And then, she is a new. I didn't hear their show, but I will say she is a new Packer fan that was decided this year. That was like the whole thing leading into the NFL season. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if people are just saying that she's more of a fan than Ben claims to be of the Packers. I don't know. Well, I'll say this. Her fandom switch is more understandable because I believe she was a St. Louis fan, and it would have been harder, and I don't think they were even in the mix. Like, her being like a Chiefs fan, I think would have been tough. Just from the idea that I would imagine if you were in St. Louis, you maybe weren't a Chiefs fan. I don't know the St. Louis Rams' biggest rival, to be honest.
Chiefs win.
Do you have any idea who that would have been?
Well, they were in the NFC West, so definitely the Seahawks,
Cardinals. Of course, the NFC West, St. Louis.
Well, yeah, and should they be in the NFC West? No, it doesn't make sense, but that was their division. I mean, the Cowboys are in the NFC East. I mean, geographically, it doesn't always make sense.
Fair. They should be in the South.
Oh, for sure.
Then who should move to the East?
None of the South teams.
Atlanta's closer.
It's closer, but when
Carolina?
No.
Carolina's East.
That's more NFC, north and east than
but NFC
the other
East
teams.
is like historic. You have to put like another historic. Honestly, the Lions would make kind of sense. A little bit more, in my opinion.
But it's not on age; it's on geographics.
Yeah, but when you think about these divisions, you don't think about where they are located. You think about the teams and the identity of those divisions. The AFC North, gritty, Rust Belt. NFC North, cold, frozen tundras. NFC East, I think you think of a lot of like hardcore fans, a lot of like no nonsense fan bases. You know, fans that hold their teams accountable, especially when they're appearing on another ESPN radio affiliate.
So where was I today? Someone called me. They were the Killer
Beaver
Bees.
Dam? What were you
No, the
gonna
Killer
say?
Bees was the nickname they gave for each other.
97.5 ESPN Houston. You didn't know the name of the show you were on?
Nah. Didn't know
Wait,
who I
they
was
call
on
themselves
with.
the Killer Bees?
Why do I need to know any of those things?
Because you're the one who was on the show.
Right, but what am I? I'm not quizzing them.
No, but I think
They're interviewing me. They gave our show a shout out. They gave me a shout out. Good job, but they're a good radio host. I'll tell you that.
People like me.
But I was on. People do like me. But Molly was asked too, right? Like, I'm not special.
I was. They ghosted me, I think. I think you replied faster than I did, so you got the in, which is unfortunate.
Oh, you could.
You're not even a Packers fan.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Jason
Being able to
Wilde's
talk
not a
about the
Packers fan, and he's the I would say the best reporter out there on the Packers.
Fair. That is fair. I don't know, but tell us about it. Can you tell us, like, what questions did they ask you? What did you say? I heard you said juggernauts.
I don't think that they
can you not say it?
juggernauts.
Why are you separating those words? Juggernaut.
That's what you.
I don't think that they
No, you're saying
are
juggernauts. It's juggernaut.
No. You are projecting. I said
Right.
juggernauts.
Can you pull the first
Juggernauts?
clip of Molly?
Juggernauts?
Because I swear she said juggernauts.
That's what you said.
Juggernauts.
That is what you said.
Juggernauts.
That's what you said.
No.
That's not what she said. That's what you said, Jim.
I think we both said it.
Juggernauts?
No, it's one word. She paused. That's one word. That's one breath.
She was
Juggernauts.
she was taking her time. She was pronouncing every syllable.
I think I had to think through it because I don't know how you say. I don't know how you can
Knots.
even
I
think
think
of
it
the
should be
word.
knots.
Yes.
Juggernauts.
Yes.
Juggernauts.
That's definitely how you say it. Yes.
Juggernauts. Look, I'm sitting in my big blue truck from sitting in Chevy in Mount Horeb. I'm not kind of doing three things at once. But I'll tell you what, they did ask about the Packers defense. That's what that is about. And I think I gave a fair assessment of like, hey, they're not going to rush the passer. And CJ Stroud isn't one to turn it over. So as long as you don't fumble it, I think you're going to put some points up. I don't think maybe it'll be field goals, but I think you're not going to have a hard time moving the ball against this Packers defense. You just got to hold on to it. And CJ Stroud is not a guy who turns the ball over. I mean, CJ Stroud for his career has 9 interceptions. Meanwhile, this year, Jordan Love has 6. So, I mean, like, CJ Stroud is a guy who's going to hold on to the ball. And so just avoid the fumbles from the other players. And I think you'll be in good shape as far as not getting turnovers. And then that'll hurt their Packers defense. And there's no proof that they can rush the passer. So that was the question about the defense.
Pressure.
I said, speaking of pressure, get some pressure on Jordan Love, and he turns into Brett Favre. And when you pressure him, he is, I would say, pedestrian when he's pressured, like most quarterbacks are, and he's elite when he has time. So you got to get to him. I think that's a fair assessment of Jordan Love as well.
Would you say the same for CJ Stroud?
I don't know enough about CJ Stroud. I know that when you read about Jordan Love and you talk about his Achilles heel would be under pressure. That he, under pressure, makes some bad decisions. And like most quarterbacks, like that's not a special one. That's a pretty...
so could you apply the same logic to CJ Stroud is what I'm saying?
Probably, but the Packers can't generate pressure.
I was going to say, if you guys watched the Vikings game when they played the Texans in, I think, week 2 it was or so, when they got all over C.J. Stroud, he couldn't do anything. Which, like you just said, Jim, that's going to be the case with most quarterbacks. Like, if they're getting pressure to him, you're not going to be able to do much. So, but I'm not concerned about that for the Packers. But I am curious,
so that game he completed 65% of his passes, but he threw 2 interceptions. So if there was a lot of pressure in that game, he still had a high completion percentage, not a lot of yards, but had the 2 turnovers. So get pressure on him, and like most quarterbacks, he will struggle.
Pressure.
What do you think is these hosts that you were talking to from Houston? What is their perception of how this game is going to go? Like, what's the vibe that you got from them?
They think they're going to lose. They were asking me a lot of questions about why the Packers were going to come in not come in, but why Houston would go to Lambeau and lose. And most of the questions were concerned about that. And so they kind of were asking me, like, how does that not happen? And that's how I said, look, C.J. Stroud most likely won't be pressured based off so far this season. The Packers aren't going to generate pressure on him. They're not They're not a crazy blitz team, so maybe they mix that up this game. But so far, and I think the Arizona game was the time they blitzed the least, but that is obviously a little bit because of Kyler Murray, or a lot because of Kyler Murray, but they're not a team that's generating pressure. They are a team that's forcing turnovers, but they are allowing yards, and they are even allowing scores. But the turnovers is what's been either turning games or keeping them in games. So if you win the turnover battle, specifically don't turn it over too much against Green Bay, I think Houston will win. I'll tell you this, if Houston doesn't turn it over, I think they win this game. I think one turnover makes this game incredibly tight, and I think there's going to be one turnover, and I do think this game is going to come down to a field goal, but I do think that Jordan Love is ripe for turnovers, and DeMeco Ryans is an elite defensive coach, and they have very good defensive players, and yes, Houston is without Nico Collins, but they still have Stephon Diggs, and they got Joe Mixon back. So they're going to be a little bit more balanced than they were against Minnesota in that game. They didn't have Joe Mixon, their starting running back. Now they do.
What do you think if the Packers don't turn the ball over? Can they win?
Oh, yeah.
Do they win?
I think the Packers win anyways, but...
Didn't you say on 97.5 you thought the Texans would win?
No.
I'll go check the file.
Yeah, you go check it. I thought the Texans
tape.
can win, but I do think the Packers will win. I said earlier this week I think the Packers will win. So I do think the Packers are going to win.
That.
So
You said it very confidently, for what it's worth.
I believe I said it will
show.
come down to a field goal, and I said that on the Texans on that station as well, and I said that it'll come down to the Packers' new kicker, and then it's really a matter if he's going to make it or not. That's
the new kicker that hasn't kicked at Lambeau Field since 2019, and he missed an extra point in the last time that he was there. Just for reference.
Just for some things. 844-770-3776. And, Tim in Oregon, look, folks, let's not get in your feelings. I'm not saying that Jordan Love can never complete a pass under pressure. I'm saying that, like most quarterbacks, he is not immune to pressure. Like right now, if I thought of a quarterback who would, I think of like Mahomes and maybe Josh Allen, and they're still not the same player, and Lamar Jackson, they're still not the same player. Maybe Lamar might be the same or better player under pressure. All quarterbacks struggle under pressure. But Jordan Love, we've all seen it. I don't have to sell this to you, can make some wild throws. He takes some more risk when the pressure comes. He does not make the crazy throws when he's got a clean pocket. And it is not a knock on Jordan Love, because I'm sure it's the same for C.J. Stroud, but we see a lot more of Jordan Love than we do C.J. Stroud. With a clean pocket, Jordan Love gets the ball out to the correct receiver. And I'm not even saying the first receiver. There's a graph from a couple days ago that said Jordan Love, and actually, for me, I'm excited about it. That's why I noticed it. Caleb Williams are some of the best in the league of not throwing to your first receiver, which means they are looking through all their reads and then finding the correct receiver to get the ball to. Jordan Love is elite at that. And you give him time in the pocket, and Jordan Love will pick you apart. And that's not something all quarterbacks can do. There's plenty of quarterbacks with time in the pocket. They're going to throw to their first read, or they're going to still screw it up. I mean, Bo Nix gets time, and he throws it in between two receivers in a game last night. So, I mean, it's not as easy as like, oh, any quarterback can do what Jordan Love's doing. No. But Jordan Love, like most quarterbacks, when under pressure, he makes mistakes, and he has a supreme belief in his arm. So sometimes those plays turned out great, but sometimes they can turn into mistakes. I mean, against Philadelphia, there was a pick six that was dropped. He still had an interception. Was there two in that game? Like he's throwing interceptions this year. That's just part of what Jordan Love is doing. For their careers, for an example, Jordan Love has 5,896 yards passing, 47 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. And C.J. Stroud, for his career, has, 5,685 yards, 33 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So he's throwing 11 less interceptions than Jordan Love. So, and in almost the same amount of yards, he has thrown significantly less touchdowns. And that could be multiple reasons. One, I think Jordan Love is, again, far more of a big play type guy. And C.J. Stroud, I think, leads this Texans team into the red zone a lot. And when you get in the red zone, then you give it to Joe Mixon, you give it to your running backs, and they're picking up the touchdowns. Offensively, these two teams are pretty equal over the last few years as far as scoring points. So they're both capable of leading high-powered offense. It's just a matter of who's putting the ball in the end zone. So I'd say these are pretty equal quarterbacks. C.J. Stroud a little bit more efficient, and Jordan Love more explosive. I think that's how I would describe these two.
I'm getting nervous because I just decided to look up the defense and where they rank for the Texans. Overall total defense, the Texans are ranked number 3 in the NFL. Then in passing, they're 4th. And then in rushing, they're 14th. And I don't know if I have enough faith in this offensive line to be able to protect Jordan Love against that defensive line and not turn the ball over and not be able to perform under pressure. I don't know.
It's going to be a good football game. That's why I said earlier that if the Packers win this game, I have no question at all saying that they're a legit Super Bowl contender, without a doubt. And because I don't care, it's at Lambeau Field, and I do think the Packers are going to win this game, and I do think the Packers are a legit Super Bowl contender. And there's no shame if they lose this. I'm not writing them off if they don't win this game, because I think Houston is a legit Super Bowl contender. They might have a tougher road because they're in the AFC. But I do think Houston is a team that will be right there, which leads me to our question, 844-770-3776. I think Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud are going to be connected at the hip. Now, Jordan Love is in his 4th year in the league, and C.J. Stroud is in the early parts of his 2nd year in the league. So it's incredibly impressive what CJ's been able to do with basically hitting the ground running. I mean, you talk about rookie quarterbacks and how hard it is for them to be as explosive as they can be, or as CJ Stroud was specifically. It's because there's so much being thrown at you. And CJ Stroud, even watching him this year, and I saw him play against the Bears, he looks even calmer than he did last year. So I think he's a guy that's going to continue to settle in. I think Jordan Love was able to hit the ground running, settled in just because the league was not new to him. I mean, C.J. Stroud was learning where to live and the playbook and the rest of it when he went to Houston. So I think these two quarterbacks are going to be joined at the hip as far as how they're compared to. And I want to ask the question, 844-770-3776. The next time these two quarterbacks play each other, will it be in the Super Bowl or will it be in the regular season? Regular season, we assume it'll be about 4 years from now. So 844-770-3776. The next time C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love play each other, will it be in the Super Bowl or in the regular season? If you're looking to get away this winter, well, now is your chance. Our friends at Coors Light are giving away a Florida experience this December, and you could win. This trip for two includes an airfare and hotel voucher, club-level tickets to the Boca Bowl on Wednesday, December 18th, and exclusive access to events surrounding the Boca Bowl. All you have to do is order an ice-cold Coors Light and scan the QR code at any of these following locations: Red Zone, EchoTap, Wando's, or Draft House. Winners will be announced on Wisconsin College Game Day, Friday, November 29th. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes and High Life Lights. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, including one featured dive bar that will offer $2 High Lifes and High Life Lights for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Paoli Pub and Grill, Utica Bar, the Shack Bar and Grill, and the Up North Bar.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style pizza, an upgrade to their classic crispy thin crust. Cut into 16 snackable squares and loaded to the edge with bold, flavorful toppings. Try one of their 4 new signature recipes: the spicy chicken sausage, the pesto margarita, the double pepperoni, or the ultimate. Because for a limited time, you can get any large specialty Tavern-style pizza for only $12. Go thinner, go crispier, go bolder with Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style crust. Order online today at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella, how'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2024. ABC Wednesdays.
Y'all complain all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises too.
I'm still waiting on the paper towels.
Abbott Elementary returns with the new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there?
Taking bribes.
Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary, Wednesdays, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidde. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidde and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Every Tuesday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Don't miss the ESPN Wisconsin Media Poll Rankings Reveal Show. We unveil the top 10 teams in the large division and small division all around the state. That's every Tuesday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. The ESPN Wisconsin Media Poll Rankings Reveal Show.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Phish Friday on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Off-Broadway Draft House. Enjoy a traditional Friday fish fry at Madison's favorite neighborhood gathering spot, Off-Broadway Draft House.
When I see the connection, though I see...
It's how coachable for Houston. And realistically, Houston could win this game if they get after Jordan Love. Because Jordan Love, when he gets pressure, makes some wild throws. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. And when they work, guys, they work by like a fingertip. And at some point, that's going to bite him. He is pedestrian quarterback when he's blitzed.
Preach it, Jim.
Preach it, Jim. People like me. People like me.
Amen.
Look at this is like church. Get into the show 844-770-3776. We asked the question as we went to break: when will the next time that Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud play one another, a regular season game or in the Super Bowl? 844-770-3776. Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown with you. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. Molly, what's your thoughts?
What did you ask?
Our poll question. When will?
Sorry.
What?
Well, no. Okay, so I was just reading the talking text line, and then I was trying to decipher Joe and Madison's different texts that he was saying and trying to catch up, and I was just not paying attention. Okay, let me look at the poll question.
All right, the poll question.
No, I'm kidding. No,
it's like hosting with Matt Hamilton here. What's going on?
Hey. It's a little tough, I don't have ADD, but I'm like not in my normal environment, but pretty soon this is going to be my normal environment, so I need to get it together. So the next time they meet in the regular season, if it really is 4 years away potentially, that's a long time.
Now, Ryan, you kind of threw that number out there. That's probably the earliest, it feels like, before 4 years.
I believe the way it works now with the new 17-game schedule is that obviously you play one division from the other conference every year. But then with the new schedule, I believe you also play one team that also finished in the same ranking in their respective division as you did the previous year, similar to how you play two other NFC teams every year. But I think that those three, then that would leave three possible options for which AFC division team that you're matching up against based off of how both teams finished the previous year. So theoretically, they could match up before 4 years from now in a regular season game. It's just it's much more hit or miss. Odds are the next time they'd match up in the regular season is in 4 years.
That's such a hard question because it's I want to vote with my heart, but I also want to vote with my head. But I mean, in my heart, I'm hoping it's a Super Bowl because I would love to see that. And I feel like so many of us talked about that being the case last year, that we were all hopeful that was going to happen, and that would have been an awesome Super Bowl matchup. But also, when I think about it with my head, I'm like, it's hard enough for one of those teams to get to the Super Bowl. To bank on both of them getting to the Super Bowl, that's really hard. So I'm going to vote regular season. Jim, where do you land on this?
Like, I'm trying, like, this question is just trying to ask in a different way. Like, do you think the Houston and Green Bay is this the next, and obviously they didn't play in the Super Bowl, but is this the next Joe Burrow, Pat Mahomes, or Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen sort of thing, where these teams are going to continue to face each other with the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, and in this case, obviously the Super Bowl. Is this the next great rivalry for quarterbacks in the NFL?
But that's what we're hyping it up to be, right?
Yes. Now, they don't play each other. They're just not going to play each other much in the regular season. So playing each other in the Super Bowl once would be remarkable. I'm going to say, if I'm going to vote on this, I'm going to vote for the Super Bowl. I think both these quarterbacks will at least play in a Super Bowl in their lifetime. Okay. So why not go for the dream scenario of these two playing against each other? Now, again, Jordan Love wasn't a rookie last year. Far from it. But C.J. Stroud was a rookie, and I think they're going to be tied together for their careers, even more than I would say Jordan Love is tied to the quarterbacks in his draft class, because this is the class of when he arrived, and C.J. Stroud's in that class.
Yeah. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this?
I think the odds of them being that level, like the Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes rivalry, would be pretty tough. Just because I think both quarterbacks are really good. I don't know if they're on that level. C.J. Stroud and Joe Burrow, I don't think the delta there is huge, but it's so early with C.J. Stroud. He still looks really good this year. But we can't discount the fact that, the Texans, they're very good right now, and obviously the Packers, a good franchise, and they've had a lot of stability for Jordan Love too. But 2 years from now, things could look very different for one franchise or the other. Like, it's hard to predict these things, especially for like C.J. Stroud being on an AFC South team. That division feels like it's just so up and down every single year. It just makes it so hard for me to predict. And I would imagine that I would never see them being on that level of quarterback rivalry. I don't think it's likely. I would love it if they played in the Super Bowl, though. That would be an epic matchup.
Statistically, I was just kind of looking, because I looked up Josh Allen. We always talk about Jordan Love's got some Brett Favre in him. Jordan Love's got, statistically, so Josh Allen's thrown 0 interceptions this year, which is remarkable. Good for him.
He also went 9 of 30 against the Texans.
Yes, but we've seen Jordan Love have some.
Not 9 of 30.
What were some of those games against the Raiders in Denver?
He was never 9 of 30. He was never. I'll go look
maybe
at the stats
11.
right now.
It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. I guarantee it wasn't.
Right, but I would say that. So let's say 2023 though, 4,306 yards, 29 touchdowns, 18 interceptions for Josh Allen. 2022, 4,000 yards, 35 and 14. 2021, 36 and 15 for 4,400 yards. And then even 2020, 45, 37 and 10. Those all feel like Jordan Love type numbers. I could easily see Jordan Love continuing to throw for over 4,000 yards. The completion percentage, if you average it out, is around 65% for Josh Allen, just eyeballing it, with 33 touchdowns and we'll say 14 interceptions will go. That could feel very much like what Jordan Love ends up as. But obviously Josh Allen's fantastic, so that's not a knock on Jordan Love.
Robin Madison says, I'm going to color out outside the lines and say Pro Bowl.
Is
there an other option?
That's a really good response, actually.
Yeah, 844-770-3776. We also can ask this one, who's going to have a better career? And that's going to be defined in a lot of different ways. I think,
so hard.
Don't get in the feels, everyone. I'm going to say this. I think Jordan Love unquestionably will have a better statistical career. I just think that having an offensive-minded coach and the way he lets the ball rip, I just think it's going to lend itself to having big plays and being explosive and have a better statistical career. Wins is far more up in the air. I'm not saying that he wouldn't have more wins or more premier wins than Stroud, but I do think that C.J. Stroud, again, feels more efficient, and DeMeco Ryans is a defensive-minded coach. That might work against him. That might work against him putting up big numbers. Maybe it works against him for wins if Off the top of my head, I know that the Texans offensive coordinator is good. Off the top of my head, I don't know who it is, though.
Bobby Slovic.
Yeah, and he's going to get a job. He's going to be a head coach sooner than later, and they're going to have to continue to replace it. That's the negative of having a defensive-minded coach as your head coach, is that your offensive guy will always be replaced. So that at some point will bite the Texans there. But look, if Jeff Hafley's everything the Packer fans want him to be, he's going to be gone. Like, he will get a job. So, I mean, like, that's just how it goes. If you're a premier defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, you're going to get a job. Dan Quinn, now the coach at Washington, Eberflus at Chicago, top-tier defensive coordinators. Vrabel will be back in the league. Like, there's going to be other, it happens. If you have a premier coordinator, they're going to get hired away. But I do think it hurts a quarterback, obviously, way more if your offensive coordinator is hired away and consistently, which would happen under Ryans because you're just not going to have a coordinator that's going to want to stay a coordinator. Dan Campbell keeping Ben Johnson is remarkable. This is probably the last year that happens. So the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. My God. It's like, I feel like I want to say, obviously I want to say Jordan Love will have a better career, but you see what CJ Stroud did last year and then what he's continuing to do this year. And it's just tough to say, okay, he's going to fall off when you have no idea. So,
Yeah, I'll say one thing that could work in C.J. Stroud's favor. It's very early, but Jared Goff is probably still got, and the Lions, a couple more years of being what they are, right? I mean, we feel pretty good. They're not that old of a team. I know everyone talks about how young the Packers are. The Lions are not some aging team. Jared Goff is still young enough to be in his prime. They have some young playmakers on offense and defense, so I think the Lions are going to be there. Then you have Minnesota. Again, they're a team that I think last year would have made the playoffs if Kirk Cousins stays healthy. This year they look like a team that could be going back to the playoffs again. They have Sam Darnold now, but they drafted – now this is different. They drafted J.J. McCarthy. We don't know what he's going to be, so that's a little bit of an asterisk. We don't know what they're going to be. The Chicago Bears are a team that, again, Caleb looks like he's going to be a good quarterback. How good he's going to be is still very much to be determined, but I think there's a lot of different things in the North that would lend itself to be a trending upward division that could make life harder for Jordan Love. And we can ask Jason Wilde about this on the other side. The Texans have the Colts, Titans, and Jags. That is not a that reminds me of the old NFC North. Carbon World Health has helped me reach and maintain my fitness goals, and they can do the same for you. All you have to do is sign up for the 6-week experience, or you can just swing on out to their new location in Sun Prairie and see the difference that Carbon makes for you. You'll get personalized training at their West Side location, but you also can meet with Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at either location to see if semaglutide or hormone optimization or many of their other med spa features are the right thing for you and your healthy lifestyle, and those goals can be achieved at Carbon World Health. Go to carbonworldhealth.com. Jason Wilde coming up next is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Help me understand a little bit more clearly what you're asking.
Did you ever hear it called Don't Go Jason Waterfalls?
Is this Matt Hamilton?
So I kind of just thought of this question on the spot. So it needs to be workshopped a little. I'm not going to lie.
That's the same as Matt.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. No Matt Hamilton. Molly Brown up in Beaver Dam. And Jason Wilde is joining the show. Molly, did you get a chance to talk to our friend Jason then today?
I did.
Up in Green Bay?
Yep, it is weird. I feel like I just saw him a couple hours ago, and now I'm talking to him again. So, hi, Jason.
You did. 4 hours and 36 minutes ago, I think, because the show ended
Look at that
noon.
quick math.
Then we hung out for a while. Yeah.
We did.
How we doing?
Doing good.
We are doing fantastic. I was on a radio station in Houston, and they definitely have a healthy respect for the Packers and definitely worried about this game. They asked me, and I'll ask you to grade what my response was, but they were basically asking me, like, how does Houston – they kind of thought Houston was going to lose this game. I said they asked, how is Houston going to win? And I said it looks like C.J. Stroud doesn't turn the ball over a lot, especially compared to Jordan Love, so keep the turnovers at a bare minimum to 0, and that could be done by there's not great pass rush from the Packers, and then defensively, like most quarterbacks, if you get after Jordan Love, you at least increase the likelihood of mistakes, and that's how they're going to win is keep C.J. Stroud upright, keep the turnovers to a minimum, and make Jordan Love sweat it out there. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, smart of that Houston station to call you because you gave him the game plan. Like that's why I went to LaFleur when I asked him a question. Do you want me to give you the whole game plan, Jason? No, I just want you to answer the question. Actually, yeah, I think you're 1,000% right on all fronts there. I mean, look, when Jordan has made his mistakes this season, they have largely been when he's been pressured, right? I mean, the ridiculous flip out of the end zone scenario after he'd gotten hit already once, right? But the interception he throws in the general vicinity of Wicks against the Vikings when he's facing Harrison Smith coming through unblocked. Sometimes in the same scenario, obviously, he threw a touchdown, ill-advised, but it worked out to Romeo Doubs on his second TD against the Cardinals. He made the great throw into triple coverage. That was a terrible decision, but a great result against L.A. when he hit Jaden Reed down the field, and then I think Josh Jacobs scored on the next play. But, yeah, look, they've got first of all, they've got 2 elite-level pass rushers, right? I mean, whether you're a Bears fan or a Packers fan, you're familiar with Danielle Hunter, who obviously has been a really good player in the NFC North for a long time. And then you pair him with the reigning defensive rookie of the year in Will Anderson, who there can't be a whole lot of instances. I think it's actually happened 2 years in a row in the AFC where the same team had both the offensive and defensive rookies of the year, right? Didn't the Jets with Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner do the same thing 2 years ago? Hard to believe that they could draft so well and add 2 guys like that and still have all the issues they're having. I wonder why that would be. And then obviously last year with those guys for the Texans. So look, I've been saying this all week. I know Molly heard me say it on our show today. This is such a great measuring stick game. Like, look, I think we all agree that the Packers are a good team. Are they a very good team? Are they a great team? Are they a Super Bowl team? I don't know, and neither do they. But this is a great, Week 7 kind of milepost game to get an idea of where you're at, where you're not, where you're maybe deficient, and where you're headed. And I think you win this game at home, you play well, you protect your quarterback. You got one of the best offensive lines in football. I think they've only allowed 8 sacks all season. They're toward the top of ESPN's rankings in terms of protection, but they're going to be challenged. This is not the pass rush that the Cardinals had last week when Matt LaFleur's making wisecracks about how Jordan Love had time to bake a pizza in the pocket. So this will be really interesting, and I'm eager to see how it plays out on Sunday.
Well, Jason, if you were to ask Matt, that pick 6 by Jordan Love was not Jordan Love's fault. That was
we have actually audio of Mark Tauscher responding to Matt's bad take.
Okay.
Yes.
You, in essence, said that taking a safety is worse, throwing the pick 6 was better because this way they only got 7 points instead of 9. Because then they would get a safety and get the ball back and score 7 more. I've never heard anyone with a dumber sports take. I'm just being honest with you, Matt.
If you don't think the defense is stopping them, then yeah, that's 9 points.
But haven't you been saying that the defense has been playing good?
12 points on the day. You're telling me it's better to throw a pick 6 because that way you only give up 7 points and get the ball back than take a safety. I was just dumbfounded, and
yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. He's just more blunt than I am. I was trying to be. When Matt said that when I was on, I was just trying to be nice.
It was a take. He honestly, Jason, he berated Molly and I down the elevator on the way out. Like he was never letting that one go. That this was 100%.
Simple math. It's math, guys.
It was so funny.
He was showing us clips on his phone.
Yes, yeah, he was. That's
see,
right.
Don't you see? He didn't finish his route. It was ridiculous. But I actually have a question about probably the biggest story of the week with the Packers getting Brandon McManus. One, I know that during your show this morning that he was not officially named the quote-unquote kicker like you stated. Has anything changed since this morning?
Yeah, I don't and again, we love Prize Picks. They're a great partner of ours, and Tausch obviously, well, he loves it more when he wins. But either way, he's the only kicker on the team. It's not like they kept Braden Narvison too, and there's a question on who's going to handle the kicking duties. I talked to Brandon McManus today in the locker room. It wasn't like he's like, well, hopefully they pick me to kick on Sunday. He knows he's kicking on Sunday.
Right. But I'm curious, Jason, how does bringing in Brandon McManus change Matt LaFleur's game plan going into this weekend? Because I believe it was the Packers had 4th down and 2, and they decided to go for it, and that was the one where Jordan Love lobbed it over. And it was just a crazy play. But how does that affect his game plan? I mean, is he going to start going for ones that are 45, 50 yards? What is that going to look like?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I don't think, I don't know if he would have, if he had a great kicker, I'm not sure that he still wouldn't have gone for that 4th down. I mean, obviously Jordan that is a magnificent throw. You can quibble with some of the other throws he's made this season, but the level of precision to get it in between the those defenders and get it to Watson on fourth down. Now that's, I would also add that that's one of the instances, for example, that I would say he can take that risk, right? Like he's a guy who, it's fourth down. If that's first down and you throw that ball and put it in that risky of a spot, maybe it's not such a good idea. So in terms of does it change LaFleur's approach? I don't think so. Like I think more often than not he wants to be aggressive. So I don't think having a potentially more reliable veteran kicker makes him less aggressive. But there's no doubt that he was sitting there on the sideline, even if he would have made that same decision on fourth down. There's no doubt it's going through his mind, is this kid going to make this again or not? And I will say Matt LaFleur had a great admission today where basically, he's like, yeah, not ideal to the first time you see your kicker kick will be in the game. Like, you don't really know him. You don't know how it's going to work. Like, they certainly did it in practice, but that's not the same. And so they go into this kind of blind in week 7 how their kicker is going to perform. So I think he's just going to go with his gut like he always does.
Talking with Jason Wilde about the Green Bay Packers here on Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love, they are, at least statistically, and I've seen Stroud play a couple times and obviously Love a ton, They do play, it seems like CJ's a little bit more, maybe efficient is the right word, and Jordan Love's more explosive, but I do think these are two quarterbacks that are going to be tied together. More than Jordan Love's rookie class, I would say that CJ Stroud might be the guy he's tied to because they both were first-year starters last year, and I don't know. It's unfortunate that they're likely not going to face each other in the regular season much. We did ask the question, what's more likely? And statistically, it's obviously not that likely they're going to play each other in the Super Bowl. But I was really trying to ask the question that I don't think it's out of the question to say that these two quarterbacks could someday see each other battling, whether it's for a Super Bowl or for an MVP or something like that in a few years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Look, you know how I feel about the potential Caleb Williams rivalry.
Yep.
Obviously, they would see each other twice a year, and that I just love that storyline. But you're right. I mean, the guys that he's going to be tied to because of his 3-year apprenticeship are not Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert. That's just and Tua. Like, that's just not his group. It just isn't, because he sat for 3 years and all 3 of those guys played. Now, it'll be interesting to see where he is once he's in his 4th year as a starter, or 5th year as a starter, I should say, with those guys. But yeah, it's definitely going to be Stroud. I will admit this. I don't know what his career arc will be, but if I was Bryce Young, I would be just praying that I can find my way the way Baker Mayfield, the way some of the Sam Darnold, frankly, even though it took him forever, and 2 other stops after the Jets, Geno Smith, et cetera, because he just got drafted to such a bad situation. The owner meddles in the draft pick, and his career is, Andy Dalton's a great guy, and he's played a hell of a lot of games in this league, but the fact that Bryce Young is in the situation he is, that's not his fault. And had he had what Jordan Love had, maybe he would be playing 2 years from now at the same level that Jordan Love does. So Malik Willis is another example. Like, I just think situation is so important. And I think it sure looks to me like C.J. Stroud's in a really good situation. And so is Jordan Love. They've got a lot of talent around them. The one difference is that C.J. Stroud did it right away. And I like Jordan a ton. You guys know how highly I held him in regard. But had he had to play right away, he was not going to be what C.J. Stroud was as a rookie. He just wasn't.
A couple of locker room questions for me. I know that sounds weird, but number one,
what's up with that? What's up with that? Yeah.
First one, not very serious, but I'm actually just genuinely curious how this works. Did Brandon McManus take over Braden Narvis's locker? Like, is that awkward?
No, he took over Aaron Rodgers' locker, and I can't remember who was in it previously, most recently, because if you remember last year when they drafted Sean Clifford, the big story for his first practice was that he had Aaron Rodgers' locker. But now he's been, because he's on the practice squad, he's in the auxiliary locker room. So I think that locker was just open, and now they gave it to Brandon McManus, and the one that Braden Narveson was using, I think their long snapper, Matt Orzek, just gets a double locker, so he can keep all kinds of stuff in there. He can put he can take some of my bobbleheads out of my office and put them in there if he wants to decorate it.
Interesting. Okay, my second real one is
that
all
wasn't
this
a real question?
I mean, that was a real question.
That's a pretty good one, actually.
I'm glad you guys thought that was a good question. It's just I'm genuinely curious about those kind of things, so I'm glad that you had a great answer for it. But the next one though is all this Romeo Doubs stuff. Obviously, that was the huge topic last week. But is that stuff? Does it feel like it's in the past now with the team? Just seeing the way that he performed last week and the way that the team surrounded him, or is there still like weird, uncomfortable feelings lingering in the locker room?
I think I like the whose locker did Brandon McManus question better. So I did say hello and have a good one to Romeo today as he was walking past me. No one has even tried to interview him this week, from what I can tell. And I'll be honest, I didn't really have any. There's nothing new under the sun there, so I didn't either. I did think it was weird that when I approached Brandon McManus today, he asked me what I was going to ask about. And I was like, I'm not going to ask about what you're not wanting me to ask about. I've done this long enough. So in Romeo's case, like, I don't know. I think they're in a better place than they were a week ago at this time, obviously. But at the same time, I think if I was his teammate, and this is the best way I can answer, because I've asked a lot of people about a lot of stuff all week. I was talking to Evan Williams today, and we had a good conversation about a couple of oddball things, including my sweatshirt. But if I was a teammate, I'm not convinced that it's resolved because I don't know what Romeo's going to do next. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm on his team, I'm thinking, okay, I think we're past it. But then again, I still can't believe that he was unhappy with his role a couple weeks ago when it didn't make any sense logically, right? So, and also, if I care about him as his teammate, which I know Christian Watson does, and I know Jordan Love does, and I know Jaden Reed does, I'm also still worried about, okay, is he good? Is he where he needs to be mentally? And what do I need to do to make sure that I'm supporting him so he doesn't have make a bad decision or have an episode or however you want to describe that. So to me, it's not done only because there's an uncertainty, and I keep going back to this, but Christian Watson could not have been more vocally supportive of him, and he himself even said, and I quote, you heard me say this morning on our show, Molly, that it's going to be weird for a while. And that's the guy that was as supportive of him as anyone in the building. Mm-hmm. So if he's saying that, that's an acknowledgement that there's some ground to traverse still.
So speaking of weird, you talked about McManus. It seems very vague. If I had to guess, it sounds like there's some sort of settlement and everyone just has to be quiet now. But I think they used the word resolved. That's not great. Like, that's not like, oh, everything's wonderful. Sounds like maybe he's a creep and it was resolved. But like, like, honestly, like, that's kind of their tea leaves I would read, of like, he's a creep and he drank too much and did creepy things and now he had to literally pay for it. But like, is there any concern of like, they don't know him? Like, he does what Jay Cutler just got a DUI. Like, they don't know who McManus is. They signed this kicker. They have to keep him now because you don't bring him on, this guy with however big his baggage is, whether it's a suitcase or a backpack, he's bringing in baggage, and now you're bringing in this guy who could end up being a distraction. I still always wonder if it was worth it to bring in a kicker who, it's not like you're bringing in a Hall of Famer. You're bringing in a slightly better kicker than you had, and he's carrying some baggage and a lot of risk because one move, if you're a Super Bowl contending team, one move to borrow from Peyton Manning, your idiot kicker, and you could be answering a lot of questions you don't want to answer just after you finish answering questions you don't want to answer about Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, I would say, first of all, is if Wooly can handle this, which I still want to workshop a new nickname for him. But "Creep" by Radiohead is a great song.
Best.
I mean, when it comes to "Creep," that is what I think of first, and then grinding on people inappropriately and the stuff that he was accused of. Look, here the bottom line is this: they screwed up the kicker situation. They probably should have just given a little more leeway to Anders Carlson for another year since they invested a pick in him. And there ain't nobody out there.
No.
Like, they're not getting a Mason Crosby type who has just been sitting at home. They're stuck. And the fact that Goody publicly admitted that if not for this incident that he was being sued for, that McManus wouldn't have been available to him either. Like, I think their attitude was essentially, okay, Jim Rutledge thinks this guy's a creep, but he's the only alternative that's a potential upgrade over the guy we've got. So we either swallow hard and say, this guy, we don't like the situation he was in, but we need somebody more reliable than another rookie like we chose, or we're sticking with Braden Narveson and we're just going to miss one kick a game just like we did all of last year or most of last year with Anders Carlson. I mean, in fairness to Anders Carlson, I think he made like his first 16 kicks last year when the weather was good.
Yeah.
So the fact that you went back-to-back rookie, you didn't like that rookie, so then you did another one, and then he wasn't good enough either. Like, you can't mismanage this position. And I know there were allegations of plagiarism levied toward Armali Brown, but the bottom line is she came up with that on her own, and it's true. They have had far more difficulty replacing Mason Crosby than they have with Aaron Rodgers based on the way Jordan Love has played.
And Jason, I've seen it before. Chicago, it took them a couple kickers before they got to Cairo Santos after getting rid of Robbie Gould.
And when you have Robbie Gould, you don't let him get out the door.
Right.
He went and was good with the 49ers, and now you have Cairo Santos.
Yep.
Don't let him get out the door the next time he hits free agency.
They already re-upped him.
Even an organization as dumb as the Bears wouldn't make that mistake.
Again, because they've made it once. But yes, Jason, thanks so much for the insight.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. You can listen back Wisconsin On Demand, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Gold medalist and ESPN Madison foodie here, Matt Hamilton. As a proud Wisconsinite, you know I support local, and it doesn't get more local than Metcalf's Market. They have an extensive selection of local and premium quality food, from meat and seafood to high-quality produce, specialty cheeses, plus a great selection of beer, wine, and liquor. Metcalf's meats are cut and packed in-house, and Metcalf's is one of the only remaining grocery stores in the area that employs skilled and trained butchers. And exclusive in the state of Wisconsin to Metcalf's is certified Piedmontese beef. Head to one of their locations in Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or in Wauwatosa. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at StarionBank.com. Member FDIC. 24-10, the final in last year's deflating loss to the Northwestern Wildcats. ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher believes it's time for the Badgers to get payback. His take on ESPN Madison's Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What we saw last year is definitely going to be in Luke Fickell and his staff and all of the players that were here last year. It was a whooping. Northwestern beat us up. I think anyone that thinks that there's going to be anyone looking past anything, that definitely is not going to be the case.
Pella's windows and doors feature durable materials, custom colors, and innovative features like shades between the glass. Get 0% interest for up to 36 months at PellaWI.com.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semra with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Julia Ackley from McFarland High School.
Yep.
You're a Spartan.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, your dad's the athletic director here.
Yeah.
Your mom's an elementary school teacher. What's it like to have a mom who's a teacher and a dad who's athletic director?
Yeah, lots of people know you, that's for sure. Lots of eyes, but it's been a little hard knowing that lots of people are watching you and seeing everything that you're doing. But I've had to tell myself that's your performance is based on you and not based on what other people's perspective on you is.
You ever done anything to help them? Do you help them out at events?
Yes, all the time. We are the Ackley family crew, and that's what everyone calls us when they see us at events and setting up for soccer games or basketball games. So.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
But I'm a creep.
In honor of the Packers' new kicker, Brandon McManus, should we ask, what is your favorite use of creep in a movie? It's multiple uses. This way that it's been used. It's been in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's been in, at least in the preview for Social Network. So there's been in a couple other different movies. Happily Ever After uses it. The Book of Life uses it.
What are those movies?
Happily Ever After, that is a Disney-type movie. Book of Life is a Disney movie as well. Okay. And I'm just trying, there's other ones, obviously.
This isn't a Disney movie? This song right now?
Yeah.
Does not sound very Disney.
Jim, did you just Google what movies is the song Creep in?
Yeah, that's a thing. It's like an actual website. It's heard in, and those are some of them. Some of the things it's in two episodes of the Superstore, the TV show, an episode of Community.
I know Community.
Yeah, so I'm just giving you some examples of what it's been used in.
Do you have a favorite out of all those? I know you're a fan of Superstore.
I would say Guardians of the Galaxy, which is not listed in there, but I would say that one is pretty good.
This website sounds terrible.
It does sound pretty bad. It sounds almost as bad as Famous Birthdays or
Birthplaces
that Ryan was on yesterday.
I am obsessed with what songs play in what movies. That was my dream job. Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown.
What job is that?
To be able to place music in movies. To be able to be able to not
put together the soundtrack.
Not quite curate a soundtrack, because not all the songs that are in movies, because there's copyright issues that end up on a soundtrack. I mean, placing music in a way, for an example, Singing in the Rain in Clockwork Orange is such a dramatic and amazing juxtaposition that it is something that'll stick with you forever.
Jim's dream job was actually being the guy in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Do you remember what?
Yes.
I can't. Yeah, Jason Segel.
You want to be Jason Segel's character?
No, because that was the guy who just plays dun, dun, dun.
He makes movie soundtracks.
But there is someone whose job is to figure out what song should go where in a movie.
Do you know what the name of that job is?
I know for an example, did you know Cameron Crowe? And he's obviously a great director. Jerry Maguire, Almost Famous.
Okay.
Vanilla Sky are some of his movies. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yep.
So those are some of his movies. And he is married to one of the members of the band Heart. And his wife is very involved in curating the sound for the music of when songs should play where and what songs should be used. And then also, obviously, most of the time that would end up going to a soundtrack as well, but they're not directly tied together.
So I feel like people who do this are usually also in the musical industry as well, not just
always. Now, for an example, this is more modern, but is it? A member of the Wu-Tang. Is it RZA? I think it's RZA from the Wu-Tang who's done Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. And I think he's done others, but he but he also created some of the music there. So he wasn't quite so much picking the music, but he created that music.
I think that's one of my toxic traits is I'll be like listening to a song and I'll go to my husband and I'm like, hey, what movie does this song make you think of? Like, that's one of the things that I always do, which is really annoying. I don't know. Do you do that?
Savage.
I can answer it for you most of the time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Is this why Jim wants so much control over the bump music? This is why he just sends me songs all the time. Be like,
because he wants to have his dream job while he's talking about sports on the radio as well.
Exactly, yes.
So this one says a film composer, but that's not what this is. Like, because it says it's a skilled musician building out like this. That's like John Williams.
Yeah, when I think of film composer, that's Hans Zimmer. Yeah, that's like an actual like composer.
Yeah. I think that would
music
actually be a
supervisor.
really hard
It is
job.
music supervisor. I would love to be a music supervisor for film and television.
That sounds.
I think that'd be a really hard job though, because like, what if you just don't pick the right songs? What if you suck?
You know who's really bad at it because he's too on the nose is he's involved in this. Martin Scorsese. He is notorious for like the songs he picks. Like if there's a fire going on, he'll pick a song like "We Didn't Start the Fire." Like he's very heavy-handed and like
literal about
there's no ambiguity or nuance to it. He also uses like the same 5 Rolling Stones songs.
The Beatles, and I think he might mix in like what's Taken Up to Boston? Who sings that?
Dropkick Murphys. I
He'll
think
play that in
Fleetwood
every
Mac
movie.
is one of their songs is in a lot of his albums as well, or in his movies as well.
He does the same thing with actors and musicians. He picks the same ones over and over again.
Actors, at least you're playing a different role. The music's the same music.
I don't know. How many times can Leonardo DiCaprio be in one of his movies and be a different person, quote unquote?
True, but Leo's pretty elite.
Okay, Leo's
I was gonna say, depends how good they are.
Fair.
Like, we don't need to drag Joe Pesci's almost corpse into every movie. And then like, what would you call it? Put a filter on his face? Didn't they do that in the Trucker movie?
The Trucker movie?
The movie
Filter
about
on
it was
his
like
face.
Jimmy Hoffa. It was like a couple years ago. It was
The
on
Irishman.
Netflix. Irishman, yes. And that movie, it was good. It is long.
Oh my god!
I was gonna say, isn't it like 4 hours long?
I had to watch
feels
that one
like it.
solo because my wife's like, absolutely not. I am not digging into a 4-hour movie about something I don't really care about. So I ended up watching that. Like I think one time I took the kids over to my parents' house. I ended up just watching it before I went to bed. And I think I fell asleep multiple times in it. But when I finally finished it and watched it all the way through, it was good. Ray Romano made a surprise appearance. I'm like, hey, it's Ray.
He's solid in it. Yeah.
Everybody
loves Raymond.
Everybody loves Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and loves Lee and Kevin over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You can go out there for the sizzle, swizzle, and swirl happy hour. You can go out there and get yourself a steak sandwich and Coors Light. Have a wonderful time and tell them that Jim, Matt, and Molly sent you. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light. Get ready for a festive season at the Bruce Company in Middleton. Jim Rutledge here. The Bruce Company Garden Center has packed their calendar with fun events for your whole family. Kickstart the holiday and visit their Autumn Artesian Fair. They also have exciting events like Ladies Night Out, a visit with Icelandic horses and snowy owls, and of course, their reindeer fly-in and holiday open house. Mr. and Mrs. Claus will even be landing for a visit at the Bruce Company. So join in the fun this holiday season. Learn more about their upcoming events at brucecompany.com.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center Update brought to you by The Jump Around, a brand new weekly digital show diving into all things Wisconsin Badgers. New episodes with host Jim Rutledge debut Thursday at 12:30, streaming exclusively on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. And before we start jumping around on Saturday, the Badgers will be jumping around at the Fieldhouse tonight as they hope to take down number 11 Oregon. The UW Badgers volleyball team, currently ranked number 9 in the AVCA coaches poll, takes on the Ducks at the Fieldhouse tonight. Coverage begins at 6:30 right here on 100.5 ESPN. Play-by-play call with John Audius begins at 7 p.m. And then Badgers continuing on a big sports weekend out over in Illinois as they head down to Evanston to take on the Northwestern Wildcats. The Badgers 2-6 against the Northwestern Wildcats since 2003 in Evanston, though this year they'll be playing at Northwestern Medicine Field at Martin Stadium for the first time as the Northwestern Wildcats play in their temporary makeshift stadium right there alongside Lake Michigan. Badgers currently 7-point favorites, and that one tuned into ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day beginning at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning right here on 100.5 ESPN. And then Green Bay Game Day ahead of Packers Texans kicks off at 12 p.m.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
A fingertip, and at some point that's going to bite him. He is pedestrian quarterback when he's blitzed.
That's just
so
inaccurate.
So
he's one of the
wrong.
best quarterbacks statistically against pressure in the NFL.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I think he has like a 7% avoidance rate or something like that. He's spectacular.
Cook him with the knowledge, Brad.
Spectacular against pressure. I'm glad I closed on my brows.
You need to stop being a freaking hater.
And we sent him to represent our company. Wonderful.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Who's obsessed with who now, huh?
Jim Rutledge, he's fake.
I think the turntables have turned back to the true obsession.
The turntables? What the hell does that mean?
It was a joke.
Oh, okay.
It's Michael Scott.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Come on,
jokes.
Molly, be cool.
Office jokes, be cool and quote something other than The Office.
All right.
That is neat.
He could tell you every song that was in The Office, by the way. Any song
He
that they
probably
play.
could.
Yeah, that is Jim's dream job.
I might
after
be
all.
able to. Look, man, Jordan Love, like most quarterbacks, give him pressure, he ain't going to do it.
Pressure.
Look, that show, which is called Everything is Awesome, is not going to acknowledge. So what is Jordan Love's flaw? Let's put it out like that. Is Jordan Love flawless and he's the best quarterback in the league, or what is Jordan Love's flaw?
Wake up, flawless. Do you hear Beyonce when he said that too, right?
Give me one. Honestly, let's do it like this, because the show that's on before us, who is obsessed with us, clearly,
with you, not us,
apparently believes that Jordan Love is flawless. So please tell me, is there a flaw for Jordan Love, or is it fair to say, like most quarterbacks, he is not great against the rush? He's not great throwing the ball. I'm not saying he's not good at it. He's not capable of making plays against the rush or throwing deep balls. But if he's great at everything, he'd be the best quarterback in the league. So it's one of two things.
Well, maybe he is just the best quarterback in the league.
God forbid we use logic, because if he's not the best quarterback in the league, and he's not a top 5 quarterback in the league, which he's not, then he has flaws.
But what if he is?
But he's not.
By
statistically, by the metrics of the game. Are you calling him a top 5 quarterback? Don't play this game. Don't be dumb like they are. Are you calling Jordan Love today a top 5 quarterback in the league?
In the NFL this season, I would say there's Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
I would say Josh Allen this season.
Lamar
has been
Jackson,
incredible.
unquestionably.
I was getting to him.
Yep.
Don't worry, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Lamar Jackson. I would also say.
You say Joe Burrow still? He's had.
That's what
pretty
I was
good
wondering.
stats.
That's what I was just about to wonder. I think Joe Burrow I would put there as well. Yes, because he's been really good despite this team not winning. Other than that,
it's not C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud this year, I wouldn't say he's significantly above Jordan Love.
I didn't ask significantly. I asked
But
better
now, but
than.
you're asking he's better than Jordan Love. I would not say he's better than Jordan Love this year.
Equal to?
I mean, he could be equal to, but then at that point, then they're both at number 5.
If you're going this year, Sam Darnold's in front of him.
Not
yes,
necessarily.
without a doubt.
Why do I have to say that?
I think based on stats, he is
Stats and his team's undefeated.
Well, his team. Oh, wow, now we're taking team success. Then Joe Burrow shouldn't be up there.
It's part of it.
Oh,
statistically, he's better.
Well, Jordan Love's team is 4-2. He's also led them to wins, dominant wins.
He's
over the
lost though,
Cardinals.
right?
He's lost games.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So Sam Darnold's got better stats and his team's undefeated. And he beat his ass at Lambeau
so
Field, right?
wait,
oh, yeah.
wait.
Done. Thank
Whoa,
you. It's
whoa,
over.
no,
he beat his ass at Lambeau Field. Sam
Molly, is it
Darnold
my
beat
turn
Jordan.
to talk,
No,
or
you
is it
stop.
Jim's?
You stop talking.
I took
Sam
a
Darnold's in
breath.
front of Jordan
I took a
Love.
breath.
So now
I
we're at
apologize.
6. We're at 6 here.
Well,
We're at
Jim,
6.
let me backtrack to what you were just saying about Sam Darnold because I wasn't finishing making my point.
Okay. Jaden Daniels is definitely better than him too. This year,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. All right. Jaden Daniels, interesting to throw his name in there. That's a fair case. I would not say that
Brock Purdy?
I wasn't finished with Sam Darnold yet, Jim.
Okay.
You keep trying to move on. My point is that you've always said that quarterbacks head-to-head matchups and records is not indicative of how good the quarterback is.
But everything else is in front of the winning record, his QBR, his passing stats. Everything is better, and he beat his ass at Lambeau Field. So that would give him the heads up this year.
I would say that Jordan Love is
Don't
also.
try to spin it any other way.
I'm not trying to spin it. This is my evaluation, Jim. This is my evaluative eye. This is just like you were on with Houston, the juggernauts down on there on the defense.
Yeah.
Make sure you put a space between the two
Look,
words.
you've lost, and you're trying to spin this in a way. Today, as of today, Sam Darnold is performing better as a quarterback than Jordan Love.
I don't think Ryan is saying that Sam Darnold isn't playing better than
Are you
Jordan
right? He's
Love.
trying to.
I don't think he is.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying when.
I think he's saying you can't. I think Ryan is trying to say you can't bring in a team's success in order to prove that a quarterback is
But what
better.
about
Because
offensively?
like we were just saying with Joe Burrow, it's like, okay, his team is what, 2-5 or whatever they may be.
That's not a factor at all?
No,
not wins with losses, not a factor whatsoever. What
His
about
stats
offensive
are absolutely
performance?
insane for what their
What
record
about their
is.
offense being better than the Packers' offense?
Is their offense better?
Whose
How many
offense?
points per game have they scored?
I know that they have the highest differential in points in the entire NFL as far
Well,
as
that's
points
also
to
the
points allowed.
points that you've held teams to. So that's a defensive metric too.
It is, but Sam
Well,
Darnold
there
clearly
you
got to put up points too.
Okay, yeah, you got to put up points, but that's also part of the defense too.
Okay, but
You
let's
can
do
pull up the
QBR.
stats right
QBR,
now.
Sam Darnold's got a higher QBR.
Oh,
So does Brock Purdy, so does Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Andy Dalton. I mean, QBR, you can spin the stats however you want. Jordan Love's not a top 5 quarterback this year. No, get back to my question. Is Jordan Love flawless, or what is his flaw?
Well, you took us down to is he a top 5 quarterback, so I was answering that first. Molly, would you say that Jordan Love
Ryan,
is flawed?
can you put yourself on the stream? So I can see your
can't. I've
face?
had trouble
Ugh.
getting all of our faces on the stream. It's made it
Bummeroni.
tough. Molly, you
Um,
go ahead. You give your thoughts.
Go ahead. Did you ask me if I think that Jordan Love is flawless? No, I don't think there's any NFL player that is flawless, let alone quarterbacks. I think every single one, even the best one, Patrick Mahomes, I think he has flaws too. So no, I think we're all in agreement. I think none of us are like, oh, everything is awesome, like the show that comes before us by any means. I think if you're gonna try to list out the top 5 quarterbacks, that you have to figure out one specific stat that you're going to look at to compare them. Is it QBR? Like, what are we talking?
To me, it goes back to my overall point. There's two quarterbacks.
I'm not saying Jordan Love is a top 5. I am not saying that. Like, I think he has been inconsistent. I think he's shown flashes of greatness and flashes of, oh my God, what were you thinking? And I hope that he continues with more flashes of greatness, but I'm not going to say he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks right now, but we're also, what, 6? Is this week 6? 7. We're week 7. Like, we're still barely even into the season.
844-770-3776. If Jordan Love is flawless, tell me he's flawless. If he's got a flaw, tell me his flaw. So I'm trying to figure out this stat here because what I have, and again, it would just be lesser than what he is. Jordan Love, this is StatMuse, under pressure, a QB rating or pass rating of 83, 260 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interceptions.
Is the QB rating on a scale of 0 to 100? Or is that
I would imagine it's the normal QB rating.
What? But I'm asking, is that the one that's on a scale of 0 to 158?
Again, it's really.
What are the other numbers on the list there?
I can't. When I click on it, it takes me to his overall numbers. But when it clips it out, like I'm trying to find it in the actual story.
This is why you don't never use StatMuse. StatMuse is the worst website for statistics. I tell you, that will take you to like the famous.
Okay, here's one thing.
If you click on the wrong thing.
I found a
According
good
to Pro
website.
Football Focus, Love was 7-19 when under pressure. Of 29 quarterbacks who were under pressure for at least 6 dropbacks last week, Love ranked 25th in completion percentage, 20th in yards per attempt, 28th in passer rating. That's October 3rd. That's October 3rd. So that would have been whatever date that was. So
Okay, so I just found
this
this
is from
article
Sports Illustrated. Jordan Love feeling better, must handle pressure, better versus the Rams. So shut the flip up, KBN. I didn't make up the numbers.
That's
it's a
AI,
damn
that's
headline.
AI generated. That's Sports Illustrated.
Okay,
We can't trust
okay,
this.
but I
That's
didn't
a
make it
robot
up.
wrote
I
that.
didn't make it up. It
Well,
was a
robot
real
did.
storyline.
That was made up by the internet.
Okay, it is a real storyline from Sports Illustrated. So shove all your faux outrage completely up your butts and
All right,
stop
so
being obsessed with our show.
Actually, continue to be obsessed with our show because it's good for us, right, Jim?
It's not good for us. I don't need people. Because here's the thing I will have a problem with. Stop saying my name if you're too much of a coward to ever have me on your show.
Facts. But I did find an article from USA Today. It's NFL quarterback power rankings by QBR. This is following last week, so this doesn't include last night's game. But the top 5, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Joe Flacco, Brock Purdy. At 15, Sam Darnold. 16, Patrick Mahomes. 17, Jordan Love. Interesting.
It is. So, again, if we want to sit here and crown his ass and say that Jordan Love is flawless, that's fine. If we want to acknowledge, like every other quarterback in the NFL, Jordan Love isn't perfect under pressure, and if you want to beat him, put him under pressure, and he will make mistakes like all quarterbacks do. And if you want to point out that the team and the league has talked about how he is inconsistent throwing the deep ball, you can do that. Or you can stick your head so far up your behind, all you do is taste green and gold candy. Like, that's how you can do it. You can do it one of two ways. I will choose not to do that. Because here's the thing. I'm the guy you should be listening to because I think Jordan Love is like the 6th or 7th best quarterback in the league. And if I'm saying that, you know it's real. When you got buffoons just saying everything is awesome all the time, how can you ever take them at their face value? Me saying that Jordan Love is the 7th or 6th best quarterback in the league, and I think C.J. Stroud is more impressive so far in his career than Jordan Love, is not hating. That is someone who has taken a lot of factors into things and is giving you real insight instead of just throwing flowers at everyone's feet all the time. And I think most of our fans listen and understand that, but some of our fans want to get caught up in the minutia. Jordan Love is a top 10 quarterback, and I would say just outside the top 5. And if that hurts your feelings, then cry more. If you want someone who's going to tell you the truth, then listen to this show, and I will give you the facts. Because you know what I am so far this year? I've only been wrong one time picking Packer games.
Oh, really? Which game?
Which one were you wrong about?
It was the Colts one. I didn't expect Malik Willis. I haven't been wrong once with Jordan Love, but I was wrong on the first Packer game with Malik Willis. Well, that was the first one. Was it Titans or is it Colts? Was the first one, right?
Colts was the first Packers game with Malik Willis. Yeah.
Yep. I was wrong on that.
Okay.
Your prediction was also contradictory for the Vikings game as well because you picked them on the graphic to beat the Packers, though on the show that Friday you also said the Packers would win.
See, but I've done that too before because sometimes you submit
graphic. The graphics asked for like on Wednesday.
Yeah,
so I'm going
and then
off
your
the
feelings
graphic.
can change. All right, we have a couple texts running in. The Adam in Madison says, "Who leads the NFL in touchdown passes?" Jim, just wondering. Rory in Mount Horeb says, "How about second half Sam Darnold?" Dave in Deerfield says, "And how did Darnold beat Love's ass? They were never on the field at the same time." Not a good argument, Jim.
Look, you know why it's right? Because everyone's mad. Because Sam Darnold across the board is on a better team with better stats.
I'm
You're
not
getting
disagreeing
worked
with you.
by
I'm
Sam
not
Darnold, big-headed, Lego-headed Sam Darnold came to Lambeau Field and beat Jordan Love.
Did you just call him Lego-headed?
I mean,
he
I
looks
don't
like
think,
a Lego
but-
head.
All right, but you just like negated all the things that you were just saying. It's like, oh, you're getting beat by Sam Darnold. Okay, Sam Darnold doesn't look like quote unquote Sam Darnold this year though. Like
I'm not
it feels
negating
like
it, right? But I just love to dig it in that you got beat by Lego-headed Sam Darnold at Lambeau Field.
I mean, okay, like, but if we're gonna say that he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league, then that's not an insult. You're saying that they
I'm
got
not
beat by
saying
one
Sam
of the best
Darnold
quarterbacks
isn't.
in the league.
I'm saying that Jordan Love didn't play like one that day. He played like that for half a game.
He
I don't even know if it was
played like
full
a crazy person for that game, basically. Robin Madison says, and I was so excited for an F-bomb and dump button, but I would have heard it on YouTube. I thought we were getting there, too. Ryan, did you get nervous?
No, I know Jim's good about holding himself back. He brings himself 99% of the way there, then stops.
I'm not as mad as it looks on the radio. Like, you seen me actually mad, I would drop an F-bomb. I am able to lift it to a level of being entertaining because this is a radio show, and I know Molly and everyone else gets that, but I do think that some people think I'm truly worked up. I will tell you what gets me worked up is having good friends and partners like J&K Security Solutions. They are fantastic. Jeff and the whole family at J&K Security Solutions care about your home and business. It's veteran-owned, it's family-owned, and they are fantastic people. So when you want to protect your home or business, contact our good friends at J&K Security Solutions. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes and High Life Lights. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, including one featured dive bar that will offer $2 High Lifes and High Life Lights for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin, like Paoli Pub and Grill, Utica Bar, the Shack Bar and Grill, and the Up North Bar.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Spooktacular savings are happening right now at Metro Ford of Madison. With 212 new vehicles available for purchase, qualified buyers can get 90 days deferred payments. The 24 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $15.54 per thousand borrowed, plus $3,000 total cash. Check out the 24 Ford Mach-E with 1.9 APR financing for 72 months, plus a free EV charger and home installation. Hurry to Metro Ford of Madison today.
This is Devin Robinson from Badger Volleyball, here with Madison's best roofing, siding, and window company, Ridgetop Exteriors. I protect the net at the field house, and they protect your home. They're trusted, local, and affordable. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com today. That's ridgetopexteriors.com.
You know what really gets me? A man who knows how to stay fresh. No matter how hard he works, how much he sweats, he's always clean, always irresistible. That's why I love a man in Iron Jock. Their gear doesn't just fit, it hugs all the right places. And the best part? No odor. Ever. So guys, if you want to leave a lasting impression without the lasting odor, slip into Iron Jock. Trust me, we'll notice. Shop again, and again at ironjoc.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, our biggest priority is the care and service we provide to our clients. We know accidents can be overwhelming, and we're here to help every step of the way. Call now. One call, that's all.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come. Right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Phish Friday on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Off-Broadway Draft House. Enjoy a traditional Friday fish fry at Madison's favorite neighborhood gathering spot, Off-Broadway Draft House.
When I jumped off, I had a bucket full of thoughts.
It is Jim, It is a Phish Friday. I will say that I was hanging out with Brad from Ho Chunk, and he said that we went to Off-Broadway. He said that they have a fantastic fish fry. And I went there, I believe, Thursday. It was Thursday. I did it before the Jump Around, and you can listen to the Jump Around Thursdays at 12:30. You can watch it on YouTube, and then you can listen back Wisconsin on the Man, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. So I was at Off-Broadway. I got a beer cheese soup, which was great, and then a Chipotle chicken sandwich. It was fantastic. Off-Broadway is literally just right off Broadway in Monona, so go check them out. It's a good sandwich, and Brad confirmed they have a good fish fry over there, and it is Phish Friday here on Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. She's Molly Brown. I am Jim Rutledge. Matt Hamilton abroad, but we are going to play Don't Quote Me.
We're not saying it's gonna happen.
Let it ride!
But if it does, then we want credit.
Say that again, because that is an amazing take.
I told you all.
If not, well...
Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said...
All right, guys, it's time for some Don't Quote Me. And as we all know, these are our long shot predictions for the Packers game every weekend. We take our best chances. We do our best Jordan Love impression, bombing the wrists down the field. And if we get it, we want the credit. But if come back on Monday, what we predicted didn't happen, doesn't matter because you can't quote us anyways. So, Molly Brown.
Hey, we all have flaws.
We all have flaws, exactly.
Not Jordan Love. Not Jordan Love.
And the only thing that's flawless on this panel is a Molly Brown prediction. Molly Brown, what is your Don't Quote Me prediction for this game?
All right, you ready? First up, this is a little two-parter, but, let's get crazy. First off, Jair will have an interception over Stephon Diggs, because we love that matchup. And Lucas Van Ness will have a sack with a forced fumble on C.J. Stroud.
You're drunk.
You like that?
She's got a parlay. Oh.
Call me Parlay Molly.
So wait, can you say that again? That was a Jair gets an interception while defending Stephon Diggs, specifically.
Yes, like over Stephon Diggs.
So he mosses Stephon Diggs with the interception.
Yeah, I mean, we don't got to be like super specific, but that's just what I'm envisioning in my head.
Okay.
However, I don't know what their height difference is because Jair, I don't think is very tall.
Stephon Diggs isn't super tall either.
I think they're both like normal NFL players.
They're around 6 foot, maybe slightly under.
Okay.
I'd say Stephon Diggs probably 6'1". Jair is probably closer to 5'11". And then so is the Jair interception. And what was the other one, Molly?
And then the other one is that Lucas Van Ness will have a sack with a forced fumble on C.J. Stroud. A strip sack, I guess I should say. But.
Strip sack on
C.J.
Stroud?
So Stephon Diggs is 6 feet tall and Jair is 5'10".
Dang, and they're probably even giving him some inches, right?
Usually.
Isn't that what they typically do? Jim? Don't.
I thought you was going to ask me like, Jim, do you know?
I never, ever misrepresent my height.
What are Jim's combine stats?
I'm not asked
off.
about my height very often anymore.
You are asked about your prediction as a sports radio host, Jim. What's your Don't Quote Me prediction for this game?
I think both quarterbacks will throw for over 300 yards and at least 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
Didn't you do the same thing with Jordan Love and Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, I was wrong. I'll keep on doing it until I think it's right.
Oh, come on.
That's a good one.
He's
I
only
think it's
wrong.
I think it's going to be a
He's only
shootout.
wrong every so often.
True.
At least don't quote me. I literally have no idea.
Well, if it was Braden Locke, it would come true because Locktober. So both QBs throw 300 yards, 0 picks.
I was only 21 yards off last time when I said the Packers were going to run for over 200 yards.
You were very
close. Speaking of Badgers, can you make a Badger prediction too against Northwestern?
Mm-hmm. Separately, if we got an email about our Packer predictions, I don't think I've gotten one yet. Maybe I just was not.
Oh, you're talking about for the socials.
Yeah, I don't know if we. Maybe I'm just left off of it. Too good. For the Badgers, I think the Badgers are going to beat Northwestern, and I did give a number in there. I want to say.
No, I don't mean a score prediction. I mean like a don't quote.
Oh, don't quote me for the Badgers.
Yeah.
Tui Walker's going to run for over 150 yards.
Okay. That's fun.
That is fun. All right, Jim. So it was both QBs throw for 300 yards, 0 picks for your Packers. Don't quote me, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then since we're talking Badgers, I also got outsourced some other don't quote me predictions for this one. Riley Yelk will be producing the show on Monday when I am out. So I asked him to send in his don't quote me as well. He did not follow instructions with a video, unfortunately, but he did text me his don't quote me, and his is Badgers related. he says that Braden Luck is thrown for 400 yards in this game. So hopefully Jim and Riley are both correct.
400 yards.
400. I mean, he threw for, 389 against Purdue?
Yeah, but Northwestern's better than Purdue. And this is if nothing else, I have a feeling that the weather's going to be, I know it's supposed to be kind of nice, but I feel like it's going to be windy.
It's on the lake.
You're right on the lake.
Could help his ball, too. Could actually correct some of those interceptions, blow him back to his receivers.
He's got one who's just like, F it, I'm going to throw it deep.
He's a gambler.
He really is. He's really like, what I got, 19? Hit me.
Yeah. He's fun. He's fun to watch. All right, and then Matt Hamilton, also busy curling in Canada, sent me his prediction between games. Once again, not able to get me a video. He did text me his prediction, however. He says the Packers' defense/special teams scores a touchdown in this game. They've gotten a lot of defensive turnovers so far this season, more than they did all of last season, but yet to get a defensive touchdown. So that's what Matt Hamilton's predicting.
So it's either their defense or special teams?
He picked the fantasy version, the fantasy football version of this happening. Well, I think it's decent. I think defense or special teams getting a touchdown, that's worth it.
At least he didn't say something about Rashawn Gary getting sacked again.
Yeah, I mean he has a mush.
The eunuch?
Yes. The eunuch.
I like that nickname for Rashawn. It hurts Matt's feelings.
Is that appropriate? I don't even know.
It's a real thing. I'm not going to describe what it is. You can Google it.
Yeah, if you describe it,
it's accurate.
If you describe
it, an FCC violation?
If you described it, it'd be an FCC violation.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
But I would say it's accurate. And Rashawn Gary has been, honestly, since the day I've started hosting with Matt Hamilton, he has been on the Rashawn Gary train, and I just asked one time to get double-digit sacks. One time. That's all I ask. I'm not impressed. I get pressures matter, but, get out of here. The Jordan Love hype, real. You can see he's an ascending player. He's not perfect. I think he's about the 7th best quarterback in the league. And I cannot say that Rashawn Gary is a top 15 pass rusher. You can't have 0 sacks and be top 15.
In order for him to get double-digit sacks, he needs to get a sack in every game moving forward.
Well, it's not impossible, but look, I forgot who the offensive lineman was. The former Packer offensive lineman has been on social breaking it down, and it looks like Rashawn Gary maybe has lost some explosiveness with his speed, and he broke it down 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was Mike Wall, and he just pointed out that now Rashawn Gary, that speed move's not working, so then he's getting caught by the lineman, and then he doesn't have a counter or a power move to get through it, and that's why he's not getting any pass rush right now, because he's not exploding by players anymore. Or at least maybe it's because of the 4-3 too, and where he is coming from, slightly different. But that, there was a great breakdown from a former Packer offensive lineman who's been doing really good. It came from a place of wanting him to be better. He's just Rashawn's got to figure out a more of a power move or something, because the speed's not working right now.
I don't mean to be too sarcastic about it, but it wasn't Brian Bulaga, was it?
No.
It definitely wasn't? Okay. I was going to say.
No. I would know if it was Bulaga.
Okay.
I think Bulaga referenced it, actually.
Probably. That would make sense. Yes. Okay. Well, speaking of pass rush and speaking of guys like Rashawn Gary, my don't quote me prediction is that you won't hear me on Monday because I won't be on the show, but hopefully we'll be celebrating a Packers win because the Packers defense got at least 5 sacks on CJ Stroud. I think the one weakness of this Texans offense, their offensive line hasn't been great this year. They're giving up a lot of pressure on CJ Stroud. So as bad as the Packers pass rush has been, I think the Texans O-line can be gotten. And I think if they're going to win, that's why. I think they get after CJ Stroud a little bit, make him uncomfortable. Likely he won't actually end up getting sacked much, but if those turn into turnovers, it's just as good. But my long shot prediction, my don't quote me, is that they get 5 sacks on CJ Stroud.
I was right. It's Mike Wall. You can follow Mike Wall 68, and that's Wahle 68, and he broke down Rashawn Gary.
So it's Wally.
What a terrible,
but it's Mike Wall.
A terrible way to spell wall. Terrible.
Take it up with his ancestors.
I will.
But basically, he's not getting off the ball fast enough right now, and he's meeting him. The offensive lineman is meeting him where he wants to meet Rashawn Gary every single time. Rashawn Gary's speed move is not working. He has to do something else. That was the long and short of it.
Got to have multiple pitches, yeah.
Yeah. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. I do want to
You know what? I'll bring it up on the other side. I know we have pole dancing, and this is not a stone, but I definitely have a stone or a bone to pick with it's not just Packer quarterbacks who act like morons when they leave Green Bay. We'll talk about former Bears quarterback who acted like an idiot, an irresponsible idiot, when he left Chicago doing this down in Nashville last night. So we'll talk about that more on when we get back. But Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and Middleton is fantastic. They are a family-owned jeweler. They are a jeweler that will make custom pieces of jewelry for you. And if you go in there, you're going to run into either Garrett or Devin or Scott or Ruth, and that's the part of the charm at Chalmers Jewelers. So go see Madison's family jeweler, go see Madison's custom jeweler, Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Matt and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Forget about the front row. The best seat and the best place to be on game day is Off-Broadway Draft House for all the sports. Check out our new game day menu with tostado nachos and featuring $2 hams on tap. Those specials are available all day on Saturdays and Sundays. Find out firsthand why Off-Broadway Draft House was Madison's People's Choice winners for favorite bar, wait staff, and more. Game day, any day. Discover what others already know. Off-Broadway Draft House. Come for the beer, stay for the food.
Have you lost weight in the past but gained it all back and more? We know the secret to losing weight and keeping it off long-term without drugs or injections. At MadisonWeightLoss.com, many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, or keep it off without prepackaged meals, no exercising, no hormones, no injections, no drugs or surgery. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. Thanks to the guidance of Madison Weight Loss, I was able to drop 40 pounds over the duration of the 60-day program. It feels so good to wear clothes from the back of the closet I haven't fit into in years, and I learned new habits with Madison Weight Loss to be naturally healthy that I can incorporate for the rest of my life.
To learn about our program, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com and schedule your free private phone consultation. Our staff will walk you through our entire program, talk about your health goals, and see if it's a good fit for you. Call 608-774-7241 or go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free phone consultation now. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Ness Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Ness Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at CarbonWorldHealth.com.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we've helped hunters gear up for the season for over 6 decades. So as you prep for this year's hunt, shop unbeatable deals on supplies to make your trip successful. Like a free $10 Blaine's gift card when you buy a Sport Dog 500-yard remote trainer, only $149.99. Hit the road with the Blaine's brand Gold Automotive battery, starting at $114.99. And select Schumacher multi-amp battery chargers, just $59.99. Gear up and save on the hunting supplies you need at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
I'll save dunking on Jay Cutler for the end of the show. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush. Oh, Molly, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Molly. Go ahead again.
And that's crush to Coors Light. What happened?
I forgot to push a button.
That was all right.
Yeah.
We are live from the Everlight Solar studio, and we are going to, it's Friday, which means we go pole dancing.
We asked, and you answered.
What?
Coming to the stage, it's pole dancing on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Hey now.
Presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
As Jim said, Jim wanted to say something first.
I just have a quick question.
Go ahead.
We are really scraping the bottom of the barrel, and I actually like this person's endorsement, so I'm not trying to dunk on it. But do you care who the son of Bart Starr endorses for president?
Is he involved in politics at all? The son of Bart Starr?
Not according to this headline. Does not give much to it. No.
Well, I would have to read more into the story.
It says in a First Alert exclusive, the son of former Packers quarterback Bart Starr announced Friday he's endorsing blank blank blank.
I would want to know if he's involved in some sort of politics. Like
right, that would be different. But if he's just that,
if he's just then probably.
You still would want to know?
No, I'm agreeing with you. That probably wouldn't matter.
And I like his endorsement, but it's just weird. That's all.
If you're Bart, I don't know how to ask this question. If you're sorry, I just glitched.
Yeah, you did. We're gonna pretend that was the computer.
If you're Bart Starr's kid, do you need to announce it? At what level do you have to be to have to announce your political affiliation publicly? Does that make sense?
I am looking here. It doesn't look like he's political. He does. He's flipping parties. I guess that's worthwhile.
Well, I guess in that case it is notable because then that would be why.
All right.
Do you even know Bart Starr's kid's name?
Is it Hank?
Bart Starr Jr.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh.
I literally yes. Yeah, Bart Starr Jr.
All right, fair.
All right, guys, we all know it's Phish Friday, and it doesn't matter who we endorse here because we go pole dancing on Fridays, and nobody can tell us not to. So, guys, I want to ask, first of all, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Monday, they wanted to know, is this weekend's game against the Texans a must-win game? 53% of the 325 fans said no. 47% said yes. Molly Brown, what do you say? Is this game against the Texans must-win?
It's not a must-win in the sense that they don't need it to have a good season, but it's a must-win in the sense that they need it to have the confidence going into the next few weeks and to really feel like they have beaten a team that is worthwhile in the NFL and in the playoffs. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Jim?
No game against an AFC team really is a must-win. It is a nice win. But I don't know the score. I was at the game. Packer fans were kind of writing their check to the Super Bowl, or at least feeling very high after beating Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs team at Lambeau Field. That Chiefs team went on to win the Super Bowl. The Packers won one playoff game. So what happens in the regular season against an AFC team doesn't really matter outside of vibes, which Molly's right on that, but vibes is not making a must-win.
I think Mark Chimera actually brought up a very good point this morning on Jay Game at Chewy. He mentioned if the Packers lose and then the Vikings win, that does kind of take the Packers out of the race for winning the division. So I think in that case, it definitely matters.
True.
So I don't know if it's maybe not must-win, but their situation, they have to keep up with the Vikings either way.
The Vikings are playing the Lions, is that
right? The Vikings are playing the Lions, so that's
a game that I'm excited for.
So who are you guys really just quickly answer it? Go.
Actually, the next poll question from Kyle Bruston Nortman today. Outside of Packers versus Texans, which Week 7 game is most intriguing to you? Lions versus Vikings, Chiefs versus 49ers, Jets Steelers, or Ravens Buccaneers? 72% of fans said Lions Vikings. I don't think that's too surprising.
None of those games are really even that interesting otherwise.
Chiefs 49ers.
Yeah, a little bit, but not
but
like.
the Niners
really?
are still ugly right now too, though.
It's a Super Bowl rematch.
Yeah, I know. I just don't. The cross-conference, like, Week 7 games are hard to get excited for.
Okay. Molly?
Also, do the 49ers even feel like the Super Bowl team from last year? Because I don't think so. Without Christian McCaffrey, it's like, I mean, I'm looking forward to that game, but it's not so much like juice.
I will say if the 49ers win, there'll be some juice to it. I'll tell you that.
For sure. Who are the Jets playing?
They're playing the Steelers, which could be Rodgers versus Russell Wilson. That's an interesting angle.
Oh, Wisconsin.
It is set to be Rodgers. God, just what are you calling that one? Do they have the whiteout up in Green Bay? Is it the washout? That game, the Jets for the washout quarterbacks? A bumathon? God.
The only reason I'm excited to see, only reason that one would even pique my interest, which is annoying that Rodgers has another primetime game because I believe that is Sunday Night Football, is because I want to see Devontae and Rodgers again and see what they can do together. However, Lions-Vikings, easy answer.
I am curious. Apparently, there's been reports that multiple Steeler players, or the majority of Steeler players, do not want Russell starting. They want Justin Fields. So I am shocked that Mike Tomlin made that move because it's easy just to stay with Fields until you lose. But he went with Russ, and I feel like that's an ownership pick.
Is Watt hurt? Or is he
Watt?
like good to go? Yeah.
As far as I know, he's healthy.
It's fine.
Didn't he get hurt like 2 weeks ago?
He's one of those guys, he might always have an injury, but he's going to play through it and still be awesome.
All right. I hope he smokes Rodgers. Just smokes him.
That is the Pittsburgh Badgers going up against Aaron Rodgers. Who are you rooting for? as a
Pittsburgh Badgers,
fan?
yeah, clearly.
Yes.
I like Mike Tomlin, too. Even if the Dolphins think he's too hip-hop.
Was that
too hip-hop?
Yeah, a story came out like 2 days ago that the Dolphins could have hired Mike Tomlin. I was covering the Dolphins when they fired Cam Cameron. Like after that season, they brought in Tony Spagnola, I think his name was.
Not Spagnola. Steve Spagnuolo?
No, Tony Spanos. Soprano. It's like Soprano.
Sopranos?
But it was. Go look it up. It's like, it was very similar.
Be careful, Jim. They might come after you.
But it was very similar to Soprano because that was the joke. It was Tony Sperano. Tony Sperano.
I've heard that name.
Tony Sperano, straight out of Central Casting from New Jersey. And they hired him over Tomlin, but the report came out like a day or two ago that the Dolphins thought that Tomlin was too, quote-unquote, hip-hop.
Oh, would they rather have hard rock? Get it?
I don't.
Take us to break. We
Hard
need
Rock
it.
Stadium.
Yeah.
But it wasn't then. And Sperano would have been like mandolin music, like from The Godfather. Like that would have been the music that would have been associated with him. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes and High Life Lights. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, including one featured dive bar that will offer $2 High Lifes and High Life Lights for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Paoli Pub and Grill, Utica Bar, the Shack Bar and Grill, and the Up North Bar.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Spooktacular savings are happening right now at Metro Ford of Madison. With 212 new vehicles available for purchase, qualified buyers can get 90 days deferred payments. The 24 Ford F-150 is available with 1.9% APR financing for 66 months, $15.54 per thousand borrowed, plus $3,000 total cash. Check out the 24 Ford Mach-E with 1.9 APR financing for 72 months, plus a free EV charger and home installation. Hurry to Metro Ford of Madison today.
Fleet Farm's having another great truckload sale, so make room for big savings. This Thursday through Sunday only, get bags of hardwood fuel pellets for just $4.99. 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are on sale for $13.99. Pound bags of our own pistachios are 2 for $10. And cases of Fleet Farm water are 4 for $11. Load up on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm's 4-day truckload sale.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store in Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
If you're looking for a way to stay hydrated and energized, just keep it simple with Water Joe. 2 simple ingredients. That's right, water and caffeine. You get the help to staying hydrated and that extra boost of energy that we all need. No sugar, no additives, no off flavors. Just great tasting water with caffeine to give you a boost. That's all. Next time you want some healthy, clean energy to get you through the day, hydrate and energize with Water Joe. Find Water Joe at your local Pick and Save and Metro Market locations today.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
They dance above me as I sing.
Go be a winner. Go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. So go be a winner and go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison this weekend. The opposite of a winner would be Jay Cutler. He was arrested for a DUI, I believe, in Tennessee. He was also, I believe, a gun in the car. I'm not sure if it was a registered gun or not. And he tried to pay, apparently he got in an accident and tried to pay $2,000 to the person that he hit to have them not call the police. So Jay Cutler, loser all around.
Jeez.
Yes.
Only $2,000?
Right.
I mean, like, you're a millionaire. At least, like, give him something.
A drunk millionaire, so maybe he wasn't thinking it through. But all
fair.
jokes aside, like, well, you can have a gun or not, but all of it bad. Like, what are we doing, Jay? Like, just bad across the board. Don't drink and drive. Don't hit someone else's car drinking and driving. Don't try to pay that off either. So just the trifecta of stupid there from Jay Cutler. So enjoy your week and have a great time. But I did want to make sure that to be equal in my dunking on. And look, here's where I differ. And I really enjoyed watching Jay Cutler play quarterback. And I know he wasn't as good as Aaron Rodgers, but it doesn't mean that I didn't have a lot of fun watching him. But I'll show Matt how it's done. Jay Cutler, bad job. You're a loser for doing a DUI. I do not support that. And I will not be rooting for you. It's not that hard, folks. It's not that hard. Enjoy your weekend. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly. Molly will be here, maybe Matt, but Prime will not be on Monday. Well-earned off day. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose